she posted just a really pretty picture of herself, like, dressed up. And we know she's going to go to the Global because she had won Love Island. And Johnny commented, and I quote, "Yes," with like 3 S's, partner.
Oh, because.
So I am wondering if this was a oopsie because doing the shots with Tom Sandoval of him saying, kind of accidentally spoiling that they're going to be pairs on Challenge Global, and that's going to be his partner.
That's good.
Right? And I've like scoured the internet. Nobody has said this yet. So like
good diving. Yeah.
So I'm very curious about this. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. What up, Challenge fans? We are Final Alliance Podcast. We just finished watching episode 13 of the Challenge season 38 titled Blind Faith.
Yeah.
And we have Blind Faith that the title is also the title of the challenge.
That's right. Blind Faith no more. We're going to try anymore with anything. No yeah, we're come on, guys. Come on. Was it late night and they're like, wait, when we're post-production, we need to put a title on this. And they're like, well, the challenge name is Blind Faith. And they're like, call it a wrap. Let's go. Let's hit the bar.
Last week was Frenemy of the State. That was a good title.
Yeah, exactly. Because you had the Nelly and Bessie thing. I'm telling you, post-production, they're like, dude, it's late. It's almost last call. Let's get out of here. Like, yep, Blind Faith. All right.
Call it good.
Yep. So we're on to you guys.
I have to tell you, though, this is one of the most entertaining episodes of the season. I really like this episode. The first half an hour specifically, I was so entertained. I was enjoying it. I was loving everything about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that at all. Yeah, I mean, it hits its lulls, but that's what's going to happen in 90 minutes. And I mean, I'd be without normalcy if I didn't mention that 90 minutes is a long time. You have to do a lot of things, but yes, it comes out with a bang. It's good. This is up there. TJ wasn't wrong about this is one of the hardest and best challenges ever.
Yes,
There's no doubt about this one. Yeah,
I love this one. And I mean, God, it went for so long. I mean, it looked like earlier in the day. It ended, it was very dark outside.
Yeah,
and they did film this over the summer. Yeah. So, that's later at night.
I mean, out of the 4 hour and a half, but you got to give them time in between for post-production and everything else. So
true.
Yeah, I bet you it took a good 8 hours to do this day. Yeah. So started at about 11. If it's wherever, what time of the season do you think they're filming?
What time, do you think they start the challenge, or what time of year?
Yeah, what time of year, date-wise?
They filmed it in, I think starting in June-ish.
So they probably started at noon, and then that's why it got dark then, or whatever else. Yeah, that's about right. Sounds good to me.
But they're in Argentina. Does that, because of where they're located, does that change when?
Probably a little bit.
So
yeah.
So we come back, or it starts with Fessy coming back in the house.
Mm-hmm.
He has some interviews about how they need to stop targeting him and maybe start targeting the guy with 7 rings. Which that was a pretty darn good point, honestly.
He's not wrong, but just, he's going to go on. Yeah, he's just, Fessy.
He should just really lean more into that ego. Just do it. Just go full on villain.
What do you mean? Just wear a necklace that has his number on it from college that he's no longer a college of anymore?
Does he have that?
Yeah, he's got 88. It drives me crazy. That's full on heel. If you're wearing a number that you're no longer it's not like he's playing the USFL or the XFL or the AAF or the Quad City Steam Wheelers.
It's so your identity though. Your jersey number is your identity for so long.
He's got a necklace though. Yeah, look. All right. Anyway, that's heel-ish. That is. So. We're in, yeah.
I guess. Okay, so if that is helping him be more of a heel, okay, cool. I'll do it because we need a villain. So go for it. Lean in.
I don't want to be though.
Bananas quickly starts by starting up some crap with Fessy and Mariah.
Yeah. Yeah, I said, what do you say? I can't believe you said his name.
Something like that. Yeah. He's sitting there eating. He's got 2 bowls of food.
It's perfect, yeah.
And just straight up starts everything, and it was great. I was like, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We needed something to happen that wasn't the same stuff that we've been seeing. And I don't know, it's their whole dynamic. It's very clear that he's kind of just let her go. She's not really a ride or die to him, and he gets mad at her, expecting her to be more loyal to him than he has shown to her.
Yes. And we talked about this. She makes a good point. And I'm not taking anything away from Fessy, because I think he's got a point, but he's not seeing her side. And her side was she has a team, and she's like, if I don't burn that vote, and I don't say your name, we are split, and I'm going to have to try to force someone to change their vote, and if not, potentially one of my teammates goes in.
Right.
And he is not even listening to that.
Nope.
And just saying whatever. He's like, okay, you didn't say my name, you burned it. You do, and he doesn't say like, why is it there's just not like I get your point. Do you understand mine? And
right.
The compromise in the conversation where they just go, yeah, I get it. And it's frustrating, but that's the way the game is played. And he even says, like, it's a game. Like, when your name gets caught up, if your name gets called in, I can't do anything to save you. It's a game.
And that's what I didn't like, because she's like, well, you didn't do the same. You didn't offer me the same loyalty and respect that you were expecting me to do last time.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's a game, dude. And I'm like, but wait, you were just complaining about said game.
See, that's the thing. You can't throw that out there and then.
So I don't know. Then it quickly, Jordan just happens to walk down the stairs or whatever.
Here comes Johnny.
And then Fessy starts coming at him. And he's like, I thought you were playing a straight up game. I thought you were.
Here's when Johnny's sitting there again. And he goes, hey, Jordan, were your ears burning?
Oh, you're
so
right.
This is where it starts, because then Fetch is like, hey, man, this entire season is straight up game, and then whatever else. But they don't show the scene.
The pot.
Of course he was. But they don't show the scene fully from last week.
I thought that was crazy, too. I was like, that was a nice edit that they left off the part where he's like, but I'm not going to make you any promises.
I'm not going to make a guarantee.
They snipped it right before.
Yeah, your name's not coming out of my mouth. And he said, thanks, dude, I appreciate it. And then he says, but I can't make any guarantees. Like, what? Yeah.
So then it's like looking more like what Fessy's saying is absolutely accurate, but that's not, because we saw that last week. We saw last week that he didn't confirm or deny what he was going to do.
And so what is this, a piss on Jordan's character to be like, oh, you say you do a straight up game, but you don't do it. And he's like, look,
he's mad. Fessy's mad at everybody.
Yeah. And Jordan, is he being dramatic? I do think he is, but he's like, look, man, stuff that was going outside the house was brought up, and and then this is where it gets great.
And then Tori and Jordan start getting into it. And it's funny because everyone kind of leaves that side of the room. And they're all on the other side of the room just watching.
Uh-huh. Now.
And it's hard for me to even really hear what they were saying. I really tried to focus. But because of all of the expressions that are happening.
Sure. But can I say something
at
this point? They're all smart enough now to know what makes good TV.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, they would have been just around the corner with their ear right around to the door doing it. Now they are front and center.
Oh, doing
off to the side, but the nonverbal is fantastic. Go back and watch this again, ladies and gentlemen, because Johnny and Devin take over this scene.
Oh, yeah. You pointed this out, and I had to rewind it and watch it again. Johnny starts scooting in the chair closer.
Because he wants to fan the flames of the fire. That's why he wants to get closer.
Devin's making the awkward face. Olivia's making the awkward face. Chauncey and Amber, I don't think are anywhere around. No. I think they're just staying out of the drama, chilling.
Devin's eyes shifting back and forth. It's like, who can I get to do something here to do something more?
Oh, my gosh. And then Anissa is kind of like, she's given lots of eyes and expressions because that's a hard position for her to be in, because it's like, that's her ride or die. That's her close friend. But she's like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah, I want off this ride, which was, I think at that point, she
Thank you for saying what needed to be said.
She said what everyone was feeling. Yeah, I do agree with that. Yep.
So that was very amusing. I don't think anything was solved in it. I mean, it's going to continue. It's just, it just is.
No, there was nothing solved in that.
Tori actually posted something in regards to that on her Insta today. Something along the lines of like, if you guys are tired of watching this, like, I'm sorry. Like, I get it. I'm tired of seeing it too, But obviously the situation, and it just explains, like we hadn't been around each other and things are going to get more heated in the challenge house, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, good. So she just saying, she's saying like, keep watching because I'm going to create more drama.
But I also think she's like, I get it. Like, I'm seeing people say that they're tired of seeing it, but like, it's just what happened. You know what I mean? So I appreciate her kind of a little bit of humility.
So what, she's kind of saying like, yeah, I get it. I'm a spaz, but keep watching because I'm going to spaz out more.
I mean, I didn't really read it that way.
No, I don't think you would have read it that way. But no, but I know what you're saying. She's saying like, yes, the drama's there. Really, realistically, she can just say they need to fill 90 minutes, a little bit more. Yeah. Like you said, what was said in between there, all it was, this has been your game since you got here, Jordan. It's always been your way. It's always been your way. And even when she's trying to say, like, will you just hear me out? And he's like,
well, and she said it made herself look bad because she'd promised people that he was going to save them, which I'm like, why would you do that if he didn't actually promise that?
Don't make promises. You just say he said that.
Or for other people. That's my point.
Yeah, don't go up
I didn't understand that.
Don't go up to a man when he's trying to cut down from 160 pounds to 115 pounds on a bike and say, like, you have to do this or else it's going to make me look bad. And he's like, I don't negotiate with terrorists. Anyway, we're crossing episodes.
Then we have Devin holding a team meeting.
Yeah.
He's like, we can't lose anyone. And he says, this is right after all of just everything with the other team. And he says, if they were mad this time, imagine if we win again.
Yeah.
Which is a great line.
He was great.
Then Fessy's team has a team meeting as well. Nothing really to report there. Did you notice that Olivia and Tori had that same top on today in the interview?
Oh man, that's what it should have been. That's what the title of this episode should have been. We should have that category. No, what's with the tops? You remember in 7? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's with the tops? Because these. So Tori.
So in 7, was he from Boston?
No, he just was really upset about what was in the box.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was very upsetting. Yeah, I'm still traumatized.
Sure. So we just dated this like 20 years or whatever else. So Tori and Olivia, this is what I can't go back and forth, and I feel like I can go back and rewatch this. So this top, nice looking top or whatever else.
It's a crop. It
Well, this is the top debate is great because what halter I don't know, and it comes I don't even want to.
It's very flattering on the chest.
But you pointed out and you're like, Tori's wearing Olivia's top, and I'm like, yeah, I did see that, and then it came back again. I'm like, no, that's a different color. Question.
Oh, is this like the
yes?
Is it a gold dress? Is it a blue dress?
Is it a gold dress or blue dress? Are we seeing it different because who they are? Is it two different tops? Did they get it?
I mean, it could be skin tone. It could be lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, the lighting would be the same if they're in the same typical, confessional room.
So yeah,
but it is not uncommon. I've seen this. I mean, we saw it with Veronica on All Stars for someone to have several of the same top, different colors for their interview looks.
Okay, so they
just like I know this looks really good. I'm gonna bring 3 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wear this. Maybe I'll wear them all. But I know I like this top, and I'll just depending upon the background.
So the 2 tops are flattering. Okay, you got that.
Yeah.
And then, and I'm sorry to fast forward or whatever else, but in Interrogation, Mariah comes in with a top that looks like what was she wearing? But it was a great top. It was an Under Armour, but the way it was cut and everything else,
it was
and folded in. I was like, this is
like a crop. Just like a t-shirt, very fitted.
Yeah.
And then she had jeans and did she have boots on?
They were not jeans
on.
I'm
sorry. Daisy Dukes.
There you go. That wasn't even shorts. Yeah. But anyway, that's when I thought about, geez, the tops are going on here. Mariah was like, listen, if they're going to come out with these tops, I'm going to come out like this. Mariah was trying to sell like, hey, you don't want this to go away, but I don't want to get too far advanced. But I'm telling you, what's with the tops? That should have been the title.
What's with the top?
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, there wasn't last season, Devin and Kyle had the same interview look. Like they wore the same shirt in the interviews one week. And it was like a funny joke.
Like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this was intended to be humorous or if it just was, here, girl, you can borrow my top.
It's the same top, but different colors. It's like that dress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's what I was thinking.
And that's our 5 minutes on. I always like to bring it back to the clothing.
Sure. I don't know why you wouldn't think that too if you saw that. It would be like, what?
And Amber had a dress with cats on it. And they're like, look what the cat dragged in.
Oh, Johnny. You were doing really good with your quotes until you took the low-hanging fruit. Yeah.
Speaking of Amber gets a phone call from home. It's from her mom and niece.
90-minute episodes.
They didn't tell us. They didn't show it on the show. But Amber had a death in her family. I apologize. I can't remember if it was grandmother or grandfather. But it was the week that she went into an elimination. And it was said on social media that she was essentially the person that was put into that elimination because they said she was, quote unquote, checked out. So that was just like, 2 weeks ago?
I remember that, yeah.
So her being so emotional talking to her mom and her niece makes a little more sense in that, knowing that context that we just know from social media that they didn't show us. Otherwise, it just makes it look like she's just emotional because that's who she is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so they're trying. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Because she is, emotional.
I think she might be like an empath. You know, where they just like feel everything like really intensely. They like can like feel other people's feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are so not an Amber.
I'm not. Unless until
I think she's a nice
she
person.
told Chauncey to suck it up. That was about it in the interview, though. She didn't say it to him, but yeah. So,
that's obviously foreshadowing, though. No, it's not foreshadowing. It's trickery. It's trickery. Yes. They want us to think, but it is not. Then Nany and Casey are talking. They've got a balloon. It's Nany's mom, Carmen's birthday. Nany's talking about, when she first brought Casey home to her mom, and, it was her first time bringing home a girlfriend, and just talking about how she misses her mom, and, it was sweet.
Yeah, and I think that was nice that cut the balloon and everything else, and they get to share that time together. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Never easy losing a loved one. That's what they're going about in this episode a little bit. But yeah, again,
that is foreshadowing.
Let
me go into the challenge. This challenge is freaking awesome. It's called Blind Faith. There are 4 challenges within this challenge. You'll pick your representatives from your team based on just looking at a symbol. And then whatever it is, they've got to complete it. It is timed. The first event was by far my favorite.
Yes. Yeah.
By far my favorite. Oh my God, I have not laughed that hard in so long. TJ's laugh was fantastic.
Always good.
Everyone else's laugh was fantastic. And here's why. So there's 7 targets. You have a slingshot and then ammo. You got to get 3 of 7 of them. But if you miss, you have to drink this nasty looking smoothie.
We got to figure out what is in that.
Maybe, what would you say? 3 ounces?
Sounds about right.
About 3 ounces.
Yeah.
And the best part is Jordan had first said, because the symbol was a target.
Yeah.
So Jordan's like, well, I have pretty good aim at just about everything.
I am accurate at everything I do.
Hell confident. All right. And then Fessy's like, all right, I'll go too, because it's against Jordan.
Yeah.
All right. So then when we hear it's about the the nasty smoothies, it was like the most exciting thing in the world, because we all remember back 2 seasons ago when he could not eat in the final, and it was so bad, and then they played Boys Don't Cry.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just wonder what was in that. Was it like warm beer and like octopus?
There was definitely something solid and like a lighter color at the bottom.
Like octopus or
and
something.
And then it looked citrusy, kind of, or acidic of some kind.
Oh, acidic's good, yeah. Ooh, gross. Anyway, yeah, it was not. Listen, it was funny. It was good. You don't hit it. Awesome. You got to do this. You got to do this drink this 3 ounces.
What I liked about it was there was no, it was time. You had to complete it. There was no, if you don't get it done, you time out.
That's what I like.
There was no, just this person wins, this doesn't. It was time. It's because someone, sorry, Fessy, could potentially say, okay, he won. Well, I'm just going to sit here and time out.
Yeah, it's a girls' week. Doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah.
Especially if it's a man.
It feels like production was like, we are not letting someone like Fessy
no,
time
we
out.
are.
Like,
yes.
You're going to have to. So that's what I did appreciate out of this one.
That'd be one of those that, like, if I'm production and I see that it's him, I would like grab my other producer friend and I'd be like, we're changing the rules now.
Yeah.
Like,
grab TJ, just calm down. And just like, lights go out and everything else. Like, I don't know, power just went out, but TJ, why don't you come to the booth for a little bit? Yeah. So. Oh,
it was great. It was great. Olivia says Fessy looks like he's experiencing an exorcism.
Yeah.
Devin with the freaking assist.
Yeah.
This guy, he could have a very strong future in coaching.
Oh, absolutely.
The way he sees things and is able to direct his teammates is just brilliant. He, because they're both throwing up quite a bit, and they're not focusing. Devin's noticing this, and he's like, hey, just listen to me for a second. Tells Jordan. Jordan's able to get it. He's even able, as it's in the air, to call it. Like, that's hitting it.
Hats off to Jordan to being like, I need help.
For sure.
Not usually the type. I'll figure it out. He's like, I need help. Devin's like, you've been too high. You need to shoot lower half. He's like, I feel like the last one was low. He's like, it wasn't. It was high and wide right. You need to be a little bit lower here. And then so just boom, 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 just like that. And he's calling it. You're right. Like you said in the air. Done. You got it.
Oh, it was beautiful. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Hat tip to Devin on that. And then ends up being about a 25-minute difference in between players. At this point, Fessy hasn't even gotten any. And finally, Jordan just looks over at Devin and says, help him.
Yeah, they all are saying help him, and Jordan's good, and he's still
and
not feeling the best.
Horacio's the one that's like, I mean, he doesn't say, we don't hear him say it, but we see him say it in the interview multiple times. He's like, this is not a good idea.
Yeah, he's like,
I don't think this is a good idea. This is the beginning of these 4 challenges, and I don't know if this is going to bite us in the butt later.
Yeah, he says, I feel bad for him, but I'm not on board with helping him. But it happens anyway, and in comes Devin. Move your left foot back or right foot. I can't remember which one. To me, that was just so impressive. Like, I want you to move your left foot back or right foot just a little bit. Now down a little bit more. Fire away. You know, it was pretty impressive.
It really was. Yeah. And I mean, I appreciate that. You know, you're seeing someone quote unquote suffer. Mm-hmm. That was nice.
Yeah,
didn't have to do that. Would they have, if the roles were reversed? No. I don't think that would have happened. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Then we go into the second event. It's a puzzle. So they decide that Olivia and Anissa are going to go for one team. The other team, Devin and Nani. It's 8 pieces. You got to run and carry them. They're rather large pieces.
Yeah.
Solve the puzzle. And then again, it's timed. Olivia is a beast. Just throwing around those pieces like they're nothing. Devin and Nani are working well together. Everyone works very well together. Anissa and Olivia get it a little bit before.
Yeah, it's just seconds. Not much, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like maybe a minute different at that point.
But still a moral victory. And Devin even says so. He's like, I volunteered. I want to win. I don't like to lose. So,
word. The third one is a light bulb. It's a memory game. It is Horacio and Amber and Bananas and Tori. You run to an answer key, run back, tell your partner what is on it. They run down and solve it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many tiles there were. Maybe like 8 times 4, maybe 32.
Something that sounds about right. Yeah.
I don't think that I would be very good at these.
Takes
just
a lot
because of
that.
Remembering the colors and the direction.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Yeah.
And then running and trying not to think of anything and forget it, mix it up and get it twisted in my brain in that space.
Sure. It's like a game of telephone, but you're jogging.
Right. I didn't even write down who got it. Was it Horacio? It was Horacio and Amber.
Yeah, they got it.
I mean, everyone did really well in that. And you know, the fact that they said it was also endurance and it was Horacio and Amber, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to get this. Those two are like poster child for endurance.
Yep.
At this point, the lead is just under 40 minutes. Yeah. Now we go into the fourth one. So we have Casey and Chauncey and then Jordan and Mariah. It's now dark out. It's called bungee. There's a race to hold on to the bar. So one partner goes out, holds onto the bar. The other partner goes out. But once your partner is out holding the bar, the tension is so much stronger.
Sure,
so it's more difficult. So it takes a while for both teams to kind of figure out how to do this. Mm-hmm. And I think for sure Jordan and Mariah are going to figure this out. And it's like not even going to be a problem. Unfortunately, it's not what happened.
Nope.
Casey and Chauncey get it. Chauncey, again, continues to impress me. He ends up climbing up Casey.
Don't sell Casey short for that, though, too. That's not easy to do.
Be pulled like that. Yeah. And she says, I'm literally being pulled in 2 directions. Yeah, so she's physically stronger than I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's always been, I felt like agile, endurance, but strength has never been something I've thought about with her.
Yeah, but I mean, she played women's professional football. But I mean,
right.
Yeah, she's strong-willed. How's that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So I'm also very impressive with her.
Yeah.
You're correct. It broke my heart that Mariah and Jordan didn't get it. And then it does, you know, had they not have helped Fessy.
Yeah, you don't know how
likely there's a likelihood that they might have won. And so that's kind of a bummer. Then obviously Nany, Amber, and Mariah are going to be interrogated. So we go into that following a conversation of Chauncey and Amber. Chauncey's upset, and I do feel for Chauncey. I mean, this is his first time doing this. He's here with his girlfriend. He's on a team with somebody else. So it's like I mean, Jesus, looking at the guy, he played sports. He's an athlete.
Yeah.
So he has that win, that I want to win in him.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to help his team out. But then he knows, and it's a girls' day, by him winning, there's a likelihood that his girlfriend, who he loves very much, who just suffered a loss in her family, you are really hating this.
I'm not. Just listen to me. This is a chance to win $1 million. Okay.
Yes.
So
you can still have feelings about it, though.
Yes, you can. But I mean, she even says, like in her interview, she's like, "All right, you know, suck it up," or whatever else. Yeah, you can do that, but also like, you're in Argentina. You're having the time of your life. You know you're gonna go back home. It's not like they're like
you're also like closed off from the rest of the world. So your entire world right now is inside that house.
He goes home. Let's say she goes home. Is he gonna pull what that one guy did? Said, "I miss my girlfriend back home." And she's gonna quit?
God, that guy.
See you never. Yeah, don't take care. Hope to see you never. Anyway, what I'm saying is like,
no, Chauncey would not do that.
Yeah, but
it's his first time.
But it's not his first time because he's got weeks. He shouldn't be relying. He's built relationships. He's on a different team. At this point, they've already been 3 weeks into this where he understands that she may go home. They're not on the same team. Like, not 3 weeks, but 3 episodes or how many days or whatever else. We're on 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, come on. Like, again, I get your point.
I feel for the guy.
Yeah, I get your point. But it's also like, it's the game. Like, it was never going to be easy. Oh, ride or die. Okay. Oh, we're you and me to the end. Like, you haven't watched the show.
It's his first time. He's brand
new. He didn't know. They were cold.
So. Leave my Chauncey alone. That big heart. Yeah. I love it. It made me love him more.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the interrogation. They didn't show the deliberation at all. But the interrogation starts with Nany. She looks beautiful. And, I mean, it's very obvious she's not going to be the vote.
Yeah.
Her ride or die's there. Her girlfriend's there. Anissa, who she's close with, is there. Tori, I mean, come on. Get out of here. She's not going to be voted in. And she basically says, without saying it specifically, vote for Mariah.
Yeah.
She's a rookie.
And if I go, it was just one of these roundabout ways of just, like, do it. And
then Casey about cries.
Yeah.
And then Anissa about cries. Just
yeah.
They're all like, I thought she had a cute, a good speech about just,
hey, all my friends, it's not going to change anything, blah, blah, blah. If it happens, yeah. And Amber basically does the same thing. Ryan needs to go. How many people went in when they were rookies? Raise your hand, blah, blah, blah.
I liked the way that Amber went about it.
Yeah.
She's like, rookies have to earn their stripes, period. When you were a rookie, did you have to go in? Raise your hand if you did.
She also made a alliance with the rookies from the beginning of the season, too.
Touche.
So now all of a sudden it's like, they're guys. Come on, they're rookies. All
right. Yeah,
you know I was playing them, right?
That is true. Yeah. I do have a short-term memory when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I got all these cats on here. Each one of them 9 lives. Do the math. I got a lot of lives. A lot of lies and a lot of lives. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah.
Mariah with her fun cowgirl type outfit. Just, I don't even know what happens in that. She basically tells Fessy, you got to do what's best for your game.
Well, he was looking at there was going to be a split vote. So, because there's 7 on their team, right? Mm-hmm. So he's looking at 3-3, and it's going to come down to me. What if I burn it? Which That's what we were kind of hoping for. And she's like, just do what you got to do. Like, basically, she's telling him, like, it's a game. Get over it. Do what you got to do. You vote however you want. Vote with your heart. And he's like, well, you just did this. And she's like, again, do what you got to do.
Right.
Like, you vote for your heart. Vote your heart. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's over. And so she was right in this. And I really thought he said in his interview, he's like, this is going to, basically the mate say he was going to come down to his vote. But yeah, so I was hoping to see if maybe it was going to come down to that. He was going to have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm. But I was surprised that he didn't vote for her, honestly, just the way that whole conversation went. But
yeah, they made him vote first. So he was going in. So
no party night 2 weeks in a row. But we did see the purple robe, Nany's purple robe.
Yeah, that's right.
Nany and Casey, pardon me, they talking about how much they love each other, and there's a chance I'm going to have to go in. And
apparently it's Casey's first time in the game too, just like Chauncey, because Nany had to explain to her, I could go down tomorrow. And babe, if that happens, there's a good chance I could go home. Which I was like, what is this statement? Of course, if you go down, there's a good chance. It's a 50-50. It like Casey's like, oh babe. Like that. I was like, what is this?
And then they play this sad song that Somewhere Only We Know. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, I don't want them to be separated. But yeah, she didn't need to explain that to her.
No.
I think Casey's bright enough to understand.
I think so. I know it's not her first time playing. Work. Yeah.
We go to the zone. The votes go as follows. So Fessy's first, and I'm like, oh, okay. This is the worst. He votes Nany.
I feel like everyone thinks I'm the biggest cynic. I'm not, but he's just like, obviously.
Oh yeah, he says obviously I'm not gonna vote for my ride or die.
Obviously I'm not gonna ride or die. I was like, the entire episode, you're like, she's not my ride or die anymore. I can vote for her. Like he's like, obviously. I'm like, what person is this? All right, sorry. Yeah.
You know what's funny is I posted in the Reddit group about the challenge. I said, was Mariah wrong for voting? And the majority of the people were like, no, she wasn't. F Fessy. But then I posted on our Instagram, and the answers were a little bit
he's probably
more even.
His fitness has got a bigger following or whatever.
But we'll touch more on that later. Sure. Then Olivia votes for Nany because her and Mariah have gotten very close. That makes sense. Rookies sticking together. Mm-hmm. Bananas votes for the only person that he can safely vote for because he's got a showmance with Mariah. His ride or die is Nany, so he votes Amber. And then we're like, okay, is this going to be like 2-2-2?
Yeah.
Casey votes for Mariah. Chauncey votes for Mariah. Tori votes for Mariah. Anissa votes for Mariah. So then Mariah ends up going in, and we go to the draw. Amber's the one that's supposed to draw, and she is so nervous. This was a little much.
Is this for real? Is this production? And thank you for Anissa for coming in and being like, and the award goes to
the most dramatic.
But is this production for 90 minutes, or is this really happening? Because she pauses. She's like, "You sure you want me to draw first? Like, I don't want you to go home." She's like, "It's okay, girl. Go ahead and do it." Like, this is too much.
It did go on for a while, but have you ever done that where like
commercial break,
where you have an initial thought, and then right before, like it's something like that, like a drawing game, and then you like right before you do it, you second guess yourself, and then you're wrong.
Yeah, no matter what. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like she's doing that, and then she's like, "Oh crap, which one was the one that I actually think?" And it's a 50-50 chance. I mean,
well, let me explain some to you. There's a good chance if you go to the draw that you might not. You might not come back.
Yeah,
you might not come back with the safe dagger. So
good chance.
Yeah. So it's basically like I
need a Nany conversation.
The Princess Bride, like he keeps switching it around. Like yeah. So anyway, yeah, it was a bit much. And thank you, Anissa, again for coming in and saying what
another great line. Yeah, we all need to. She had two really good lines this week. Amber pulls the safe, which I thought for sure Nany was going to draw first, and she was going to pull the safe. That's what I thought was going to happen. But absolutely wrong. So then that means Nany and Mariah are going in. The zone is called I Can See. There's a rope tied to your back. You got to pull forward. It releases, I don't know, a board or a cover.
Yeah, board, yeah.
There's 6 scrambled words. You got to solve them at your station and then hit the buzzer.
was never described to us.
Yeah, I don't remember any discussion of this buzzer. Maybe there was, but I don't remember any discussion of this buzzer.
But if there was, the good thing about it, like even last week, and thank you to the listeners, the people who subscribe on YouTube, when we were talking about the drop, someone was like, yeah, I do remember them saying they're going to drop them too. So thank you guys for that.
For sure.
There are some things that we don't rewind and drinking at home. We do watch this together.
Aha.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so if he did say that, I completely missed it. So.
For sure.
But there usually is a buzzer, so that made it feel weird that maybe, that I didn't even catch it.
Yeah. We were probably so distracted by her trying to decide if she's
probably.
Or still distracted from that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a special guest, TJ's real ride or die, his wifey, Roxanne. That was cool. We've never seen
that
her
was
on
neat.
the show
She'd never
before.
been on, so good debut by Roxanne. That was great.
Really cool.
Yeah.
She did a really good job. And so the zone goes as follows. They, go through the 6 words. They're all, again, partner friendship themes.
Yeah. Nani recognized right away. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I set theme. And then Casey explains to us that she's a writer. And this is going to be very easy for her. But I don't think
And it was close. And they tried to fake us out a couple times where it looked like Mariah had lost her letters in the sand, which we've seen that happen many times with puzzles, with people dropping their stuff on the ground. But it came down to the nitty gritty. It came down to the wire where Nani says check first.
Mm-hmm.
And TJ's like, well, then hit the buzzer.
Yeah, and so I said check first.
And so then they go quickly go to the buzzer. Mariah hits the buzzer first. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh no. And I'm like, oh no, is she really going to go out like that? And then Mariah looks and she realizes that she spelled devotion wrong. She just the I and the O, she flipped in the moment.
I'm just shocked that you're glossing over that the cancel culture is not going to come after TJ. I can't believe you're going to just gloss over that when he
what?
For mansplaining to Roxanne about how the game works and how she's doing it wrong.
Explain.
Well, she's getting the letters. She was getting the letters, Mariah was, and then he leans over. Because actually, to be honest with you guys, they don't watch the show. He doesn't watch the show.
Yeah, he talks about it all the time.
Yeah.
He doesn't watch.
But she's picking up the letters. Meanwhile, Nani's reading them, trying to decipher how to unscramble in her head and then do it. And he's like, she's getting the letters first and putting it on the board, and that's a bad strategy. And I was like, oh, TJ just...
No, he says she's not getting the letters and putting them on the board first.
Not getting the letters first, put them on that. No, he's talking about Mariah.
Right.
Yeah. She was getting the letters and putting it on there and then trying to scramble it. He was talking about that. Either way, I'm not going to mansplain this situation to you because I do not want to double down on this.
Well, and the best part is Roxanne is just looking for it and she goes, okay.
Okay. Anyway, I joke about it. No, it was really, really good to see Roxanne,
I love it.
TJ's a very private person, and so
I think she just did a bodybuilding competition of some sort. So she's an athlete in herself. I know she's a yogi too. I've seen that on her social media. So another athlete appreciates other female athletes, athletes of all kinds. So that was cool to see her. Nani takes home the W. Mariah, sad to see her go. Obviously, with the twist, we may see her again, which would be juicy.
It'd be good. They'll be fine. Yeah, they get done. She's like, oh, Nani, you did it. Did you?
And I do have to tell you because I'm
smell the word wrong.
I've got the. I don't know what it is about Nani. I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for her. Mm-hmm. And when TJ told her, he's like, "You look like yourself again." Mm-hmm. That I'm gonna cry now because after that loss that she had and anyone who's gone through something like that where you feel like you're a shadow of yourself and then you have something that just kind of empowers you again, it was really nice.
For those of you who are new to this 51st episode of the podcast, I do not need to be explained why you're here to this show outside of the $1 million. And when she says, this reminds me why I'm here, and I'm like, $1 million. And you're not doing anything else except for writing, apparently. So, because she's a writer.
She has an aesthetics license. She does that.
She's an Instagram influencer, so she has a pyramid scheme. Okay, so $1 million.
She actually is licensed.
$1 million. That's it. That's all. It reminds me why I'm here. $1 million. TJ should have been what happened to TJ being like, My money, my final. That's what you should do. My money should be the one that gets you going.
I've said this before. He has a connection to her too.
I know
knows
he does.
that she's
he
a good, decent human being, just as I do.
We can't just sit here and just glad hand each other and just be like, "Oh,
it's
so great."
I cried, and it was lovely, and I was very happy for her. I'm
glad she found a reason to be here outside of $1 million.
Just, I mean, whatever. I'm not. Okay. I'm done explaining it to you.
Woman explained it. Yeah, okay.
Jay.
Yeah.
Who won the episode?
Oh, great question. And I know these are questions we should be thinking about the entire time. Oh, boy. Is there... Go ahead. You go.
I mean, do we give it to my girl, Nany? I'm going to say that's probably a hard no or pass for you.
I want to talk through this. Because there's also a thing like... In a loss, can there be a win? Can Mariah? Because I thought she held herself with Fessy. I thought she competed well to the very end. Mm-hmm. She's the one that called out. I spelled the devotion wrong. She's the one that hit it and said, "Go to the tapes." Can there be a win and a loss? There can be, but I'm not disagreeing with Nany at all. I mean, it's good to see the people. It's always good to have people rally around you, whereas opposed to when you have Turbo, everyone against you,
right? Or
Jay or whatever else. For as much as that makes good television, it's good to have everybody that excited. And when TJ's that excited and he looks at everybody and there are 2 teams on there and he says, "You all come down here and welcome her back." That does say something. So I will give that to her as much as I can sit there and be like, some of her, whatever else. But I will give a very close runner up to Mariah.
Yes.
Because, I mean,
I like her a lot.
And, of course, I like Olivia and Horacio. I had the same thing. But right now, that was very close. Sometimes there can be a win and a loss. But, yeah, give it to Nany. I would not argue with that at all. Yeah.
All right. Nany for the win. Woo, woo, woo. Aquarius love. We're Aquarius too.
Oh, okay.
I like to always just share that. I think I've told you before, but I'll tell you again. So who do you think lost? Do we say Jordan? Because while he did well in the beginning portion of the challenge, the second portion of it, he didn't quite pull through. And it was when he told Devin, help him out, that ended up being what potentially cost them the W.
Yeah,
I can't quite... Fessy would be an easy choice too, but even then, it really wasn't that bad.
I'm fine with not taking the layup because I do think there's a time when Jordan is just too much, and the drama was what he's saying about with Tori. But I think maybe we're leaning on too much of what the preview of the next episode is when we take that loss because. I mean, you're digging in that sand. I mean, that was tough either way.
For sure.
She couldn't held on, but I don't know. Yeah, and
we're getting to the point where there's just not that many players to come up with.
Yeah, again, like I said, I can't argue that. No one came off yes, Fessy come off as a heel. Things he just doesn't know any better. I'm sorry, and I don't even want to use the word narcissistic. I just think he's immature how he has communication. So that doesn't make him a narcissist.
Interpersonal relationships need a little bit
definitely. And I think that
a little bit of tweaking.
I think that will come with maturity. And I don't. You can tell me he's 27. You can tell me he's 22. You can tell me
30 now.
That's way too late. All right. Anyway, sorry.
You don't just be like, he's there. He's not going to come around. He's still got.
I just think that's it. I don't want to sit there and say he's a narcissist because I don't think that's it. I think he's just immature in his thoughts and his communications. Interpersonal relationship was a great way to describe that. Yes. So someone's got to take an L. So yeah, Jordan's fine with me. Maybe Tori too. I don't know. Maybe they can tie because when Anise is saying I want off this ride,
right?
But yeah, there you go.
Cringeworthy moment.
You loved it. That vomiting got a little bit too far.
It's never gonna be as bad as Wes with the beard.
Yeah,
that was just. I can't think about it too long or I'll throw up.
Yeah.
Also, when Amber threw up, that was another one on
but this
the
was
final. This was at least it was all like liquid. That's not so bad to watch.
Yeah, it was.
It did go for quite a few minutes. That it is just. I feel like anybody's natural tendency, if you just keep watching throwing up for a certain amount of time, you start to feel a little gaggy yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then when you're putting in slow motion, like that kind of that's kind of
and the sounds.
Yeah,
but at least it was liquid and it wasn't splattery.
Something else. Did Devin do something? No, I thought maybe he was going to do it, or maybe I really liked him to win the episode. Devin has a good case to win the episode though too.
Well, yeah, his coaching is just brilliant.
Yeah,
and his facial expressions, things like that.
But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else like cringeworthy where it's just too much. Where that's it to me. Like I laugh, throw TJ's laughter in there, Bananas, everybody else. I mean, you got Tori trying to cover Bananas from laughing. That stuff's all good.
Oh, it was so good.
I'm all for that. But like I said, the slow motion and everything else, like I get it. Like I'd rather see the clock run down and TJ just being like, "Hey, you're almost done with these shots, but let's get going here." You know, time's clicking down. So I don't know. What do you have?
Sometimes I feel like sometimes when there's an episode like for a couple weeks ago we did the trivia, I felt like TJ was doing the fake, like trying to make himself laugh, like to be like this. I feel like was genuine TJ laughter.
Yeah,
especially because it was Fessy and he was obviously there the last time.
And that when you get that genuine, you belly laugh with
so
him.
Good.
So
it's so good.
That's
his
the
laugh
thing.
is just everything. So I mean that might even win the episode.
What do you have for cringeworthy?
Oh, let's see here. Just that weird conversation with Jordan and Tori, and everyone is actually cringing.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Here's the cringeworthy. It was right there. We just talked about it like 2 minutes ago. Amber not knowing what to do as far as.
Yes, thank you so much because that was in my head. I'm like, this is.
It was uncomfortable.
It was
uncomfortable. You literally cringed and looked at me.
I'd rather take that. Yeah, I'd rather take that than the vomit because. Thank you so much because I knew there was something else in there.
Me too.
And I was like, why is there Devin? But no, that's definitely it. That was just too much. Like it just draws out too much for me. No, that's.
I wish they would have done like crickets chirping sound effects.
Oh yeah,
that would have been so good.
And then when she pulled it, like a round of applause. Yeah.
Like when you just first learn how to use PowerPoint and you can put effects on it. Oh, another thing aging us. It's cool.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
What would Corey do?
Oh, he would have been right there during.
This conversation for sure.
Yeah,
the drama.
Conversation. Yeah, he would have. I mean, Bananas and him were right there. Bananas was great. Does Banana win best line? Or Devin best line though. What would Corey do? Yeah, he would have stirred the pot even more. He would have been.
He might have like not given them the room. He might have been like next to him.
You know what Corey? Here's what Corey would have done. Corey, and I'm surprised Banana when Fessy's given him Jordan the BS of you've been straight up game, be like, yeah, but didn't you hook up with his girlfriend after they just got done being engaged? And then that would have got it. So yeah,
or tell me about a straight up game. Remember that time you screwed over Nelly?
Yeah. You talk a straight up game. Yeah.
My boy.
Yeah, that's what Corey would have done. Yep.
Oh, I love Corey. Yeah. Best line. I think we just said it. They were mad this time. Imagine if we win again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Devin came in small doses today, but he was great.
He's been that kind of this whole season.
He was really good.
Which, I mean...
Good. What does he say? A good sniper has a...
spotter?
Yeah, spotter, and that's what he needs or whatever else.
He said something about Russell Crowe. I don't know.
I didn't Russell Crowe.
I didn't understand that reference.
Jordan said that. It's in a... Jordan said that about Russell Crowe. It's in a movie that they're in the seas as a sea captain. He's like, fire away. No, I didn't see it either. No, why would you watch that?
No, it sounds awful. Yeah. On the seas. Okay, so I do have a little bit of tea.
Okay.
So since we were just talking about movies, I did actually watch CT's movie over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
It's on Amazon Prime, so now like free to stream if you have Prime. It's called The Most Dangerous Game.
Mm-hmm.
It has been getting horrible reviews.
Oh. It
is about 90 minutes, which you know how I love a short movie.
Me both.
It was not as bad as everybody said. Honestly, my expectations were extremely low.
Mm-hmm.
There's only maybe 7 characters in the entire movie. So sometimes that kind of makes a movie just a little bit more slow.
Yeah.
But
so
I thought for his first quote unquote large motion picture, he did pretty well. Is he DiCaprio at this point? No. But
hey, DiCaprio had to start in Growing Pains. So.
He was fabulous.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Matthew.
I think it was Luke.
I think it was Matt.
What was Leonardo DiCaprio's name on Growing Pains? Put it in the comments.
Sure.
I want to know.
Right.
I could Google right now, but I'm not going to waste any
Okay.
more time on that.
Yeah. Again, dating ourselves.
But, God, we just keep going.
Yeah.
It's like Throwback Thursday up in here. Oh, there's another one.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't mind it. Bananas he spent New Year's Eve at Tom Tom in Los Angeles, which Tom Tom is run by people from Vanderpump Rules. There are two men named Toms. There's Tom Schwartz, Tom Sandoval. I love Vanderpump Rules.
Okay.
So he's hanging out with these people, doing shots with Tom Schwartz. And I'm like, I want to do shots with Tom Schwartz. I want to hang out with them. So I was super jealous of Bananas New Year's Eve. And then it continued. So then on New Year's Day, they all went to the Chargers game. So it was Bananas was there, Nani and Casey tailgated and then they were all in a suite. Kellyanne was there, Nellie was there, and then more people from Vanderpump Rules. So there was Sheena and Lala, who I love. I've read her book. I bought her lip gloss. It's a problem. I have a thing. So that was cool. So it must have been some sort of promotion for somebody in production gave them tickets, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But that was cool. I liked that they all got to hang out. So that was neat. But in the midst of him hanging out on New Year's Eve, Justine, do you remember her from Challenge USA? Beautiful. She was on the final. She has kind of old school Lauryn Hill vibes as far as appearance. Beautiful. I mean,
okay, yeah.
She posted just a really pretty picture of herself dressed up. And we know she's going to go to the Global because she had won Love Island. And Johnny commented, and I quote, yes, with 3 S's, partner.
Oh, because.
So I am wondering
mm-hmm.
if this was a oopsie because doing the shots with Tom Sandoval of him saying kind of accidentally spoiling that they're going to be pairs on Challenge Global and that's going to be his partner.
That's a good.
Right. And I've scoured the internet. Nobody has said this yet. So
good diving. Yeah.
So I'm very curious about this. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. Some kind of sad news. So not sad, but just a lot to take in. Corey's daughter, who was just born over the summer. That's why he wasn't on Spies Life or this season.
Mm-hmm.
Was she had open heart surgery today.
Oh,
so prayers to him.
Absolutely.
Her name's Maya. So prayers to him, prayers to her and their family. Hopefully speedy recovery and all that. That's a lot to deal with. Today's Josh's birthday.
30 years old.
29.
Okay.
Good guess.
Mm-hmm.
Saw that on the socials. Happy birthday, Josh. He won't see it because I'm pretty sure he blocked us.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Good job by him.
That was kind of a rite of passage. So I was
sure.
Okay. But happy birthday, Josh. Hope you're doing well. We also have kind of befriended another challenge podcast. They're called Challenge Fandom Podcast. I followed them on Instagram, and then Karina, the female in the group, kind of slid in our DMs and just said, hey, just checked you guys' stuff out, and if you guys want to collaborate later, and gave me a lot of tips about social media because I'm you guys' Instagram is popping. Ours, I don't know what to do with it. Mm-hmm. I like Twitter and the Reddit, but I've been kind of stale on the Insta. So she was really wonderful, gave us a lot of tips, which I've been using. So I've got polls going and different discussions and things on our Instagram. So thank you to her and Challenge Fandom Podcast. And you guys follow us at Final Alliance on Instagram so you can do our polls and stuff. You can vote in our polls too.
Yeah.
Questions who would win in a puzzle comp, Devin or CT?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Things like that. feel like there was something else. Oh, Mariah replied to our Insta post too. The one where I said, was Mariah wrong?
Oh yeah.
And that's what I've noticed with being more interactive on Instagram. They're all more interactive on the Instagram instead of Twitter, and so basically the gist was, she said, Bessie didn't check on me during from the minute we separated. A lot of people have been saying I'm playing Bananas game. She's like, Bananas and I actually didn't really talk game. And she was just doing the best for her game and all of that. So
they're on different teams. If anyone knows, Bananas wouldn't give her anything extra than he didn't need to. He wouldn't tell her here's how to do it. They were on different teams.
Well, she said the reason that she was safe, I think the week before, was because Bananas had actually planted a seed against her, or about putting somebody else in, which she found out later.
Yeah, but I mean, for someone to
but not Bessie.
Game, that's not the.
A lot of people saying that. Yeah,
Bananas wouldn't do that. Bananas would be like, hey,
so that was really cool to hear from her.
Again, you know why Bananas is there? For $1 million. He knows why he's there. He doesn't not make up. He's there for $1 million.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's it. He doesn't have to be like, oh, I figured out why I'm here. Except for to win an 8th championship.
So that's pretty much it. That's the news. Do you have anything else for me?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Woo woo.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, good episode. We're getting closer and closer.
I think we're this episode and last episode, we've been heating up. And I think it's just going to continue to get better as the season goes on, because it's going to have to end up being some friends versus friends, things like that, and eliminations. And that always ends up being more entertaining.
Yeah, they're going to figure it out. And how many they want to get to the final, I don't know. TJ will let us know. But obviously said pack up your stuff, and let's get going somewhere next episode. So we'll be excited to see where they go next.
Great.
All right.
Well, follow us on Twitter, Final Alliance 1, Instagram, Final Alliance, on YouTube. We are Final Alliance Podcast. Please comment, subscribe. We love to hear what you have to say. And on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, we are Final Alliance Podcast. Oh, yeah. Underdogs. Too sweet. Underdogs.
Yep. We out.
Bye.